Before we could do any work today, we need to install Drupal. Installing Drupal is already covered in depth in the Drupal Essential Training course, which is also available on lynda.com. In Essential Training, Drupal was set up using WAMP or MAMP, which works just fine, but I will be installing Drupal using the new Acquia Drupal control panel for Windows, which is actually a very new exciting thing because now you don't have to do any configurations to your machine to get Drupal running locally. You should know that using either method will work just fine to follow along in this course. So two things will be needed to be downloaded. The first is Drupal 6, and you can find that at drupal.org. You can just click download Drupal, and then you'll want to open that zip file. The second item to download is the Acquia Drupal Stack Installer. This is the control panel I was mentioning, and that's available at acquia.com in their download section. So when you visit downloads, there would be the Acquia Drupal Stack Installer for Windows and Mac. Choose your appropriate platform, click download now, and then install that application. I've already installed mine on Windows, and here's what the control panel looks like. Everything seems to be running fine because we get the green lights for both Apache and MySQL. Essentially, Acquia Drupal's control panel allows Drupal to be installed easily and includes all the necessary pieces that are required to run Drupal. So that's Apache, MySQL, and PHP, all encompassed in this one application. So to get Drupal 6 installed, I can actually just click on the local host, which would list any of my multiple sites that I install locally. I want to click More. And by clicking More, I'm brought to this list of sites. And I'm going to click Import because I'll be creating a new Drupal 6 site not using the Acquia version of Drupal. So you can click Import if you already have a Drupal site ready, or if you want to install something that you've been working on. So I'm actually going to browse for my files. Now I've already put my Drupal 6 folder inside my sites folder. So I click my folder, Drupal 6, and I will actually create a new database. If you already have a database, you can import it now. So this one I will call Lynda_Drupal themes, and I will actually place it at a Lynda Drupal themes folder. And as you see, we get a preview at the bottom of where that's actually going to live on our local machine. Notice I didn't add a .com or a .net. This is not necessary as it's only going to run locally. Click Import. It's now restarting the appropriate services. Your browser is automatically opened, and we're now brought to the installation screen for Drupal 6. So I'm going to click Install Drupal. So I'm entering a site address that is not going to really be used since it's going to run only locally. And I have to put in a username and an email, plus a password for my first user. So I'm just going to use password as my password. We make sure that the default time zone settings are set, and we also want to make sure that we enable clean URLs. If you're not able to set these settings, then you are missing an important file called htaccess. So make sure that you've actually copied that over. We'll click Save and Continue. Now Drupal has finished the installation. We can visit the site. Now, since Drupal is installed, we're logged in, we can now start getting Drupal themed. Even though we used the Acquia Drupal Stack Installer here, your MAMP or WAMP setup would be just fine. All we need is a Drupal 6 fresh installed so we can actually theme it.